Hello, my darling dears. It is 11:59. In 1 minute, it's going to be noon. Does that mean 12 a.m. or 12 p.m.? 12 p.m. You're right. Of course, you're right. Today, we're reading chapter 3 of Bob. Chapter 3, Livy. The zombie must have decided to forgive me because it, is smiling at me now. But it is a smile like you have when you've decided to smile, not the smile that just happens on its own. This is what a smiling zombie looks like. Number 1, short. Number 2, green skin. Not grass green, but more like the inside of an avocado green. Number 3, no hair, unless you count the one long eyebrow and a fuzzy patch growing on the top of his head. Number 4, pretty skinny. I can see one knobby knee sticking out of the chicken suit where the seams come undone. Number 5, big, melted chocolate brown eyes. Number 6, no eyelids. Number 7, smooth skin, at least the part I can see. Number 8, a nose. Number 9, white teeth. Number 10, lips that turn up at the end. Like I said, it's potentially a fake smile. Is that a chicken suit, I ask? It doesn't actually make him look anything like a chicken. In fact, don't ask me how I even know it's a chicken suit. He sniffs. Of course, it's the chicken suit, the one you made for me. He reaches behind his neck and yanks up the hood. It has some orangey cloth and some glued on feathers and an oversized red felt chicken comb stuck to the top of the hood. It looks a little like a kid cut it out with bad scissors and glued it there. I pointed at him. I made that? He tilts his head. The red felt chicken comb flops over to one side. Of course you made it. I didn't even know what a chicken was before I met you. I learned about chicken combs in kindergarten when our class visited a farm. There was a huge rooster there named Queen. How come I remember the name of a rooster I met in kindergarten, but I don't remember this? Why are you wearing a chicken suit? In there, I meant the closet where he was living, apparently. He sniffs again. I'm wearing it so that I'll be ready. He hikes the thing up and the other side droops to the floor. Ready for what? He gives me a long stare, and then I remember that there's another thing I'm supposed to remember. And why is it like half on and half off? It reminds me of a kid in my class last year who always wore his coat with one arm pulled out of the sleeve. If you must know, I started to remove it about a year ago. I thought I might as well change clothes, but then I was afraid my left foot might be detached because of an unfortunate incident with a dictionary. You were attacked by a dictionary. I didn't say that. It was more of a tipping over. He glares at the dictionary and then strokes it like a pet rabbit or something. Zombie parts detach very easily, you know. If I take the rest of the chicken suit off, the foot might peel right off with it. I eye him carefully. What is your name? The zombie drops something to the floor, and I look down at his feet and I see the Lego pirate. The pirate's hat has fallen off and his little arms are stretched out towards it like he's trying to get something back. When I look up, the zombie has that mad look on his face again. You don't remember my name? He asks. And then I realize he isn't mad. His feelings are hurt. This is how a zombie looks when his feelings are hurt. Number 1, pretty much the same as before, except for that one eyebrow goes up and both sides of his mouth go down. I'm sure I'll remember it, I say quickly, but if you tell me now, I'll know it sooner. I don't think I will. The zombie says, I'll let you remember it. So, since you are so great at remembering things, Olivia, it's my mom calling from downstairs. Lunchtime. That's me, I tell the zombie. I'm Olivia. People call me Livy. He rolls his eyes. I know your name. Then he uses one foot to nudge the Lego pirate towards his ship. He does the same with the pirate black hat. The small pieces get lost really easily. He mumbles to himself. Olivia, my mom calls again, her voice closer this time. I have to go eat, I say, but I'll be back. I pull the light cord and close the door. I've heard that before, he mutters from the other side. Gran has made ham and cheese sandwiches with pickles. Mom must have told her that this was my second favorite lunch after taco. She pours us a glass of milk. To Rain, she says, raising her glass. Mom glances at me and then raises her glass. To Rain, she says. They look at me, and so I say it too. Beth Ann can't even hold a glass. She just points at Gran's nose. She likes to point at people's nose. It hasn't rained in Gran's town for a long, long time, which is bad. It's called a drought. It's bad for plants and for animals and for people who live around there. Mom says that the drought is why Gran doesn't have horses anymore. She can't feed them because the grass stopped growing. She has to share water with her neighbors, and she only gets a little bit. Mom says she'll show me how to brush my teeth in a special way so that I don't waste any of it. Livy, Gran says, when your mom leaves and it's just the two of us, I thought that we could make a cake. She shows me a fat cookbook called Women's Weekly's Children's Birthday Cookbook. Livy, this is the best cookbook on the planet, my mom says. Cake sounds good, but I have a zombie waiting upstairs for me, and I really don't want to think about Mom leaving. So I say it sounds great. Lunch is pretty quick because Beth Ann gets right down to what Dad calls her job, which is crying. Yes, crying is her job, and she is really good at it. No one even bothers to try to talk when she's crying because she's so loud. Gran rubs Beth Ann's back while we put our heads down and eat. When I finish my sandwich and my pickle and Mom's pickle, I shout over the crying that I'm going to go upstairs to the canopy bed, and my mom shouts back, "Great idea!" She says she'll help me find a book. I talk really loudly in the upstairs hall so the zombie knows I'm not alone. When we walk into the room, the closet door is closed and there's no sign of him. Mom puts her head on my shoulder and then leads me to the bookshelf on the far wall. These were all mine, she says. I tilt my head to read a few titles. Alice in Wonderland, which of course I've heard of. Snugglepot and Cuddlepie, which I have not. My mom picks up a book with a strange cover. It's a half-smiling girl and half of a knight wearing black armor, lined up so that they look like two halves of one person. Half magic, she says. Oh, I've loved this one when I was your age. Just think, Olivia, when you were here before, you couldn't even read. Time goes so quickly. I lay in the back and pretend to love my mom's book right away, even though it takes me a while to love books. She gives me a quick hug and then goes back downstairs where Beth Ann is still crying. I run to the closet door. The zombie is hovering over the pirate ship, this time with a Lego monkey in his hand. He drops the monkey and puts his hand over his ears. What is that horrible noise? He asks. Close the door. I tell him that it's only a baby doing the middle of the night cry. What is a middle of the night cry? And it doesn't feel like the middle of the night, although I have to admit that the closet is not the best place to decide what time it is. There is a certain timelessness to closets. This one anyway. Well, it's the middle of the night home in Massachusetts, I tell him. Gran's house is 14 hours ahead of Massachusetts time. Well, he says, I guess your baby must be very good at math, but I wish you would make her stop. It's annoying, but it's her job, I tell him, and she's not my baby. Although I did name her, Mom and Dad let me because they read a book saying that it might help me with my adjustment to being a big sister. I have no idea why I named her Beth Ann. It was probably best that they named her themselves. Downstairs, the phone starts ringing. Gran Nicholas has a really loud phone because her hearing isn't so great. You can hear her phone ring even when Beth Ann is crying. When I talk to Gran Nicholas on the phone at home, Mom stands right behind us and tells me to speak up. And Gran always says, "Tell your mother I can hear you just fine. I've got my ears on." That is what Gran calls her hearing aids, her ears. I guess the phone was with Mom because she's yelling into it and laughing. My mom hasn't seen her friends in 5 years, I tell the zombie. He looks up. Me neither. Do you have friends? I asked. Friends like you? That, he says, is what we were trying to find out. Remember? I try to say something, anything, but I can't remember anything at all. Instead, I point to his foot and the one inside the chicken suit. Can you wiggle it? I think so. I see the bottom of the chicken suit move and one feather flutters off and he sneezes. Take the suit off. I think it's fine. No, I am not in the mood. You're scared. I'm not scared. I just don't feel like it. What kind of zombie gets scared about taking off a chicken suit? I thought that zombies were strong and powerful. They are? He looks up at me. You've really never met another zombie. He shakes his head. What about your parents? He's quiet now, concentrating on attaching the little monkey to the pirate ship mainsail. 2 hands, he tells the monkey. I don't want you to fall off and get lost like poor Mr. Parrot. The zombie is definitely spending too much time alone. You don't have parents, I asked. He rolls his eyes. We've been over this, he says. No parents that I know of. No idea who I am. No idea why I got mixed up with your grand's chickens. No idea where I came from or how to get back. Then how do you know you're a zombie in the first place? The same way I know a lot of things you told me. Me. You mean before, when I was 5? I didn't know anything. I blinked a few times and took a long look at him. I don't even know why I would think he was a zombie when I opened the door this morning. He's green. His clothes are kind of ratty, but does that make him a zombie? I'm pretty sure 5-year-old me confused both of us. Listen, I said, what if you're not a zombie? I am a zombie. I know I am. That's why I don't eat or sleep much, and that's why I have to be so careful about my parts falling off. Have any parts fallen off? Ever? He glances at one foot inside the chicken suit. I'm not sure. Hold out your hand. He holds out one hand. Look, 5 fingers. He wiggles them. But how do you know I started out with 5? Maybe I had 6, 8. I shake my head. Take the foot out of the chicken suit. I bet you $100 it's still attached. He hugs the ratty-looking orange cloth to his body. No. This kind of reminds me of the time that Susan Hopwell kicked me in the face with a soccer cleat. Not on purpose. We were both just going after the ball, and I rolled and tripped. And the bottom of her shoe scraped across my whole face. I covered my cheek with both hands, and I wouldn't let anyone look at it. I was too afraid of what they might see. Finally, Dad blocked the hall door at the field house bathroom so that I could go in and look in the mirror by myself. There was a big gash next to my ear, but it wasn't as bad as I had been imagining. I got 14 stitches, and my mom got me a bag of candy corn almost as big as my backpack. Do you want to look at it by yourself? I asked. He grunts. If I wanted to look at it by myself, don't you think I would have done it by now? I have an idea. I point to the large dictionary. Let's look up the word zombie and see if it matches the definition. He looks worried. But what if I'm not a zombie? What happens then? Well, if you're not a zombie, then your foot is still connected to your body. And that would be good news, right? He thinks, nods. He puts 2 hands on the dictionary and pushes it along the floor out of the closet to where I'm standing. I sit on the rug, open the dictionary to A, and then wished I would have started at the back. I have to move the pages in big clumps with both hands. The probably not a zombie waits patiently. I get to Z. I trail my finger down the pages like I've seen Dad do. I pass the word zest, spirited, enjoyment, gusto. Past zodiac, a celestial path, and land on zombie. We lean in and read the book together. And that's the end of chapter 3. 2 questions for today. Number 1, what's your favorite kind of cake? And number 2, what's your job? What's your job at home, or what's your job that you've assigned to yourself? What thing do you like to do that you feel like you've got to do all the time, or you want to do all the time? My new job at home is cleaning the house. A lot. It's kind of fun, actually. It's weird. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. I love you guys. Bye.